All right, today we're going to see if we can fix these inner fender mounts on this 1957 Chevy pickup we're working on. All right, folks, welcome back to Random Rod Shop. Well, today we're going to see if we can fix those inner fender mounts that I showed you last time that were broke. Right, so these inner fender mounts bolt on here, and I would suspect the more I've kind of thought back through this, if I remember at the cab, I think it was the cab mounts on this truck that were kind of deteriorating. So it would have, the way this is all bolted together, it would have pushed the front up and stressed the bottom of this thing. I don't know, it's been a while since I took this cab off. That one's not, that one's not too bad. This one's busted out pretty good. So this one had a crack here, it's got a crack along this way. I originally was gonna kind of grind it out and weld it up, but the more I looked at the floorboard on the inside, and especially on this side over here, there's pretty good rust pits on the inside of this floorboard right here. We patched it here, and obviously I got more cleanup to do here, but I decided it'd be better if I just patched those. So I made a paper patch. Yeah, I think I did it that way. Took a pin on the bottom, right, and marked out the holes. Same thing on this side. I think I flipped it around on this side. Yeah, basically just to give me some idea of what I'm working with. Then I cut a metal plate, and let's go stick this on here. So, made a metal plate, set this on here, mark the hole on the inside, and drill the holes. The other side, it doesn't need to be that big. Right, this side's in a lot better shape. So, pretty straightforward, right? Well, I was, when I was marking this out and making sure everything's in the right place, these are the studs that go from the floorboard to the outside. That goes through the floorboard itself, and then that inner fender mount bolts on there. So pretty straightforward. But the more I looked at these things, I'm like, well, this one was pretty rusty. This one is a little better, but... So that led me down a rabbit hole. It has these studs. I figured they were welded in there, but I wasn't real sure how they were welded in there. I knocked them out of this one, basically just put that in a vise and knocked them out. It would appear there's 3 spot welds on this thing, and I'll use this side. There's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. So it would seem, because I think the bolts are good. If I haven't said this before, I don't put anything together that on these old trucks that I don't run a tap and die through all of the existing bolts and holes. Just makes your life so much easier. You get wound up in, a lot of times you get wound up in there trying to put stuff together, and it just doesn't go finger tight. So it's just what I do. I don't put old bolts back in that haven't been, threads cleaned up. But I think these studs are okay, but I want to make some new plates. And I was trying to decide what these were. They're kind of crusty. That's showing about 055. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it would appear it's pretty close to the shelving material. I'm tempted to make this just a little bigger to go all the way to the, all the way to the bend of the floorboard. just to give it a little more structure there. I think that's what I want to do. I'm gonna make this a little bit taller, a little bit wider, and we'll fit this to that floorboard. Just to spread the load out just a little bit more. Technically, if you get all the bushings and everything set and tightened down, there really shouldn't be any movement, but I'm not sure I can figure out what it's gonna hurt if I just make that a little bigger. Let's get that done. Let me cut a plate out. It's always a crapshoot in terms of thinking of the reinforcement, right? If I put I've got some 12 gauge. If I put a 12 gauge in there, that will definitely make this stronger. But the flex is gonna definitely be in the floorboard because it's the thinner material, right? I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and use a 12 gauge. I'll make it like we'll go about a 1/2 inch bigger on this side and a 1/2 inch bigger on this side. Let me get these made. Okay, well, I rounded the corner because it's a piece of metal I found how to round a corner, so I just thought I'd, make both sides look the same. All right, so working through this, this one's tweaked. I don't know if you can see that, but it's leaning that way, and the bracket's cracked right down at the bottom. So that's going to need to be pulled back. It doesn't really have an impact because the holes in that inner fender are big. It's got a big rubber washer, rubber bushing washer, whatever on both sides. So there's lots of slop, but still have to remember to push that back up and get it straight. Anyway, we now have our stiffeners. You don't want to weld the corners of this thing. It will definitely work, and it'll split the floorboard right at that. So you kind of need to leave the corners of this bracket loose, and that way it doesn't crack the floorboard. Anyway, I think at this point, let's put this thing together. And I just used the original studs. So I need to paint this, get this all painted up, get this all bolted in there. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just use the cutting butt, but I'm gonna bolt it all solid until I can tack this plate in. Then I'll take all this mess off, and then we'll just do a cutting butt around this and pull it off. But at that point, right, if I bolt this through the existing floorboard, it all should line up. Anyway, that's what my plan is. Best laid plans. I'm gonna move the camera around. Let me get this bolted up. All right, well, now we know everything bolts up and lines up. And once I cut out the floorboard and move this back, probably gonna be a little long down here on this end, right? Because when it moves back, it's gonna follow that line, right? So there's a down component right there. So probably gonna have to trim this off, but I'm gonna tack it up here, and let's see here. Yeah, I think that's the way I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna tack it up here and tack it up here, take it all apart, and then I'll cut horizontal through here, and that should give it enough room to just lay down. So I'll cut along here, and the bottom, push it in, and then work our way at the top. That's the plan. Let me get the welder hooked up. Let me get this tacked, and probably put a new battery in my little Milwaukee zip disc cutter. All right. Okay, well, you guys watched me. You saw me cut that thing out of there. So the issue we got here is, and this is always the problem when you're trying to place the panel, you fit it on the outside of the old panel, and then you cut it in. This bottom edge is too long. right? Because I showed you with the tri-square or with the combination square, this wants to move down. So I'm going to hold this down, and I'm going to run the zip disc across here so I can get some more, because it needs to come down some more. So let me cut that, and let's see if that helps. Oh yeah, much better. Now that is going to flush there, and that's going to flush there, and so I'm going to tack it here, and I'm going to tack it over here, and then the corners just needs to be bumped out just a little bit. So I'll bump the corner out, and then we'll have this all flush. Then we can go ahead and cut the rest of this. Oh, that's pretty close. Let me bump this out just a little bit and see if we can get this thing together. All right. Well, I think that's in there. I need to go ahead and cut this out so I can get that back plate out so I can get it all. Because if I'm not careful, I'm going to weld the old metal to this. So I really don't want to do that. There we go. Now we can get this welded in. Okay, I'm gonna get this welded in, then we'll move to the other one. All right, well that's welded in, and I need to grind it off, but I'm pretty happy with that. That should clean up good. Let me get the other side in, and we're gonna do the same thing, so let me go. All right, well that one's in. That looks pretty good on that side. And that one's in. I think I'm gonna do a little more grinding on this and this area and throw some paint on it. Let me get that done. I thought we'd have a look at this. So this is out of the driver's side. This thing, you know, if you look at this side, let's look at this side of both of them. So this one had just one crack in it. This one had a couple of cracks in it, right? But this side was significantly worse. So really didn't have a choice. And that one's got a lot of pitting on the back side of it too. So in the end, we really didn't have a choice but to replace these things. So I've got those in. I've got the backing plate in there, and those are all bolted down. I think we got those solid now. If you were kind of looking, you know, we're looking at the video, I've been working on the underside of this thing. Got that, you know, the oscillating tool, and that, I think that's the cat's meow for taking off the bottom of these old trucks. I went ahead and put rust converter on it. Probably gonna, at this point, I'm gonna go over the whole thing again because you can see it's still not clean. I bet I've scooped up 5-gallon bucket worth of dirt and undercoating. But that said, I think this bottom is getting close to the point we can turn this thing over. that means, you know, here's our 67, and I think I've got some more weld cleanups to do, but this thing is ready to turn over. I'd kind of hoped to, you know, get this done a little earlier, but the last 2 weekends it has been cold. It's in single digits, and we snow, and it's quote unquote warm today. I think it's 21 degrees out there, which the wind's not blowing, so it's not too bad. But I need to get the frames in, so I need to get these flipped over, and I'm probably going to try to scoot those over that way, which means I'm going to have to clean up, have to restack my engines over there. But the idea is to get these flipped over, get them on carts or whatever so I can move them. I need to bring the frames in, so I need to bring the, I'll probably bring the 57 in, because for the most part, the biggest job on the 67 is I need to clean it up and get it painted. Unless it warms up, we're not doing that anytime soon. So I'll bring the 57 frame back in, which remember is the 96 Explorer. I've got to clean up all the brackets, right? I've got quite a bit of finish welding and clean up and stuff like that to do on that. And get it ready. I want to get both frames ready so I can set these cabs on them, get them bolted down. This wasn't a big job, even though it took quite a bit of time. If you're interested in old trucks, we do other stuff, but we do a lot of old trucks. So if you find this interesting, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like, and you know, leave a comment. Until next time, I'm Random at RandomRodShop, and I'm out of here.